name of Usain Bolt in an individual lane. He's 31 years old in a couple of weeks. The greatest of all time, 9.58 over 100, 19.19 over 200. The 11-time world champion goes in 4. Lane 5, Christian Coleman, world leader, 9.82 seconds. Fastest to qualify for this final. In lane 6, Akane Simbini of South Africa would have been buoyed by the 2 medals that his teammates just won in the long jump. Lane number 7, Johan Blake, the equal second fastest of all time, 9.69 seconds. In lane number 8, the silver medalist in Rio last year, a world champion over the 100 and 200 metres in 2005, Justin Gatlin from the USA, and completing the lineup. A wonderful reception for Reece Prescott of Great Britain, the UK champion. The final of the men's 100 metres. For one last time, Usain Bolt settles in his blocks over the 100-metre distance. Well, it's a clean start. It's a good start by Coleman. The American's flying in lane number 5. It's the American leading the Jamaican at the moment. It's going to be Coleman, but on the outside in lane number 8, unofficially 9.94 seconds. Well, was it Gatlin in lane number 8? Was it Coleman in lane number 5? The crowd drops. Justin Gatlin, with a time of 9.92 seconds, is the world champion here in London. The 5th fastest of all time at 9.74 seconds. The American athlete out of lane number 8 was poised, was controlled. His teammate Christian Coleman, 2/100ths of a second behind, picks up the silver for a US 1-2, and Usain Bolt in his final individual race runs 9.95 seconds for bronze. The fairy tale in the individual event wasn't to be for the Jamaican. It was a close race, but America get 1 and 2.
Well, the fairy tale was all through his career, really, as far as I was concerned. Yes, it would have been wonderful to finish on a gold medal, but in the end, it's a tough race. He came into this race knowing he wasn't in the best shape, because he wanted to be here in London. He wanted to be here and be in front of his crowd to finish off his event. And look at the way that he's getting a reception from the crowd. Absolutely fantastic.
Look at how much ground Usain Bolt had to make up from that poor start. Coleman was putting him under huge pressure. He was sensing Vico as well. This was the section of the race at which for the last 10 years we've seen him soar past everyone. It just wasn't there tonight, and maybe he really is bowing out at the right time. However, there's one more chance for gold. Not individually, but the relay still to come.
Well, he's talking to the crowd here, thanking them for the support that they've given him. He does love racing in London. And let's not forget, he did talk about retiring after the Rio Olympic Games, and then had a change of heart and concentrating just on the single event that he said is easiest to train for, which was the 100 metres. So to even have him here in London and talking about him for another season, of course, has been a pleasure. But the tightness in his shoulders, Peter, we never see Usain Bolt tight like that, do we?
No, we'd hoped, I think, perhaps above hope, after the semi-finals, that he really was back to something near the sort of form which would take him to gold. It wasn't to be. I suppose that's a bit of an anticlimax. I suppose there'll be a lot of sadness among the crowd, but it is time to pay tribute to a superlative, wonderful career which has transcended athletics as one of the great superstars of world sport that we've ever seen.
You've only got a short life, I think, on this earth, and if you can experience something like that, this man and his career over the time that you've been here, I think you've been very privileged indeed.
Well, indeed, and as an athlete, you only have a small window of opportunity, don't you, to perform at a high level, whether you're stopped through injury or illness. Sometimes the window's not open as long as you'd like, but for Usain Bolt, since 2008, when he burst on the scene and in world terms for the public and broke the world records, his list is absolutely endless, and it's been a pleasure for all of us to witness the career of the greatest of all time. And hopefully we'll see him in the relay towards the end of the championships. But every single person here tonight, as you said, Rob, has seen Usain Bolt run his last individual race and gets a chance to say thank you as well.